Okay, Colorado. So this has been really fun coming back home to create a model hospital based in nature, the old naturopathic sanitariums in my own home state, and then working with the businesses that I started working with in my own family as a child, 1971. Wow. That's all I can say is we need to come together as a Colorado community. I just got a call back from the auto parts. And those of you that have been following my story with my most recent purchase from Burt Toyota, Mary Lee Burt's family vision, knows that it's now Groove Toyota, and that my family got the first 4Runner, and my older sister was driving it. It had close to 500,000 miles on it, and she was homeless, and she later died behind a store on Broadway and County Line. She was a nurse who was put on mental health drugs to help with her depression from her divorce. And we now know that those kinds of drugs actually deplete all the serotonin. Okay, so healthcare practitioners understand these words. I bought a green 4Runner off the showroom floor from Pat Corbett's team when we were part of LHA hockey. And my husband, Scott Embry, was coaching the Avalanche team. And Woodland family, Embry family. Now I'm on a red 4Runner. My son and I went in and purchased twin 4Runners when I came back. So I got a 2016. I was told it was an off-roading vehicle, and it's not. The moment I went off-roading, thank God the first time I went, there was a dude with me. I don't usually take anyone. If you look at my social media feed, you'll see that I'm a pilot, that my family has been driving boats and planes and motorcycles and RVs and snowmobiles. Like, we're the masters of this type of industry. And this 4Runner has been nothing but problems. So I reached out the other night after it completely blew apart. And this is after I had been talking to Gabby. Sorry, not Gabby. Her name is Abby. Very sweet, sweet, sweet guardian angel. They are so lucky to have her over there at Groove Toyota. But she promised that she would get back to me. She listened to the story. She knows that I was in the center of China, that I got there because I'm an identical twin who had a lot of problems in my own family, including with my own kids, that caused me to get into medical synergism. And that when I was in China in 2016, I knew I had to end consumerism in medicine. So I promised to come back here and create a naturopathic sanitarium. And that's what I've been doing, wandering the mountains of Colorado. I had a RV accident. So I had the RV and the 4Runner because I couldn't afford a home when I came back here. I just couldn't. So I was living in an RV and parking my 4Runner and kind of swapping all that out. My family has so many homes that they were asking me to house sit, and it just got to be too much. So I was actually headed to California and stopped on Black Mountain, and the town of Montrose was incredible. I still need to go back and thank them for that day on 5/5/2017 on Black Mountain. And everyone that's helped me since then, including the town of BV. So what's happening now is that the other night when I reached out to Bert to Groove Toyota and told them that my car was not drivable. I had been waiting for Abby to call me back and her note had disappeared. So now my car's not drivable. I get passed over to a person, and the moment he finds out that for the first time in my life I'm behind on payments because I'm a healthcare practitioner, he transfers me to the GM, who ends up ghosting me. And so I reach out to the town of BV, and thankfully, Gunsmoke Towing cut me a discount, and Antero Automotive just called with a estimate, and it's $1,100. So some of you that understand frequency understand the significance of that number. And I'm posting this as a document, Seeds of Columbine. Marilee Burt was murdered. It's an unsolved crime. Has to do with Toyota. My sister, half of the people in my marriage party that took place in Littleton, Colorado, which is Columbine. The way that business is being done in Colorado right now, I'm ashamed to call myself a Coloradoan. And so I'm asking people to come to the table, and I am telling you that I did call back over to Groove and left a message, and I got Abby on the phone again. And I called her Gabby because I have that name in my, you'll see. There's magic working here. I have Peace to Pandemic, and we are going to bring an international story from Colorado. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Kathy Manning has a background that allows her to open up a naturopathic hospital that is what we need for this pandemic crap. And I have a public health certification. I was a child development associate in child daycare homes and ran the Jefferson County branch. That is where Columbine, Ken Carl, that whole area, all of Jefferson County was mine. Between 1987, 1992, I think. And so I taught people about contagious disease and worked with very key mentors like Kathy Ireland from Red Rocks Community College. So we need to come together now and bring something more to the families here and make friends for life and do right by these healthcare practitioners. When I left China, I knew I had to leave consumerism and business, and my business partner was my twin sister. She wasn't ready to do that. And so the intellectual property is still in consumerism, and I'm looking for people that want to open up Rested Heart Ranch in the Arkansas River Valley, who have looked at the Institute and realized that we are a virtual hospital. When people started freaking out, we've been virtual since 1995. I'm an identical twin. I live in the human hologram. I know that sounds weird, but this computer is all ones and zeros, right? The human hologram is 0 through 9. Enough said. Reach out to me if you can help in any way. And I'm really just making a document of what it's like to be a seed of Columbine, to have moved here in 1971. And the wavering in my voice, if you go on social media, you'll see. People haven't listened that when I went through the near-death spiral, I took in the shadow, which meant that anytime someone comes towards me and divides, I now know I'm not able to hug them like it's okay. I'm just not. Maybe it has something to do with being a grandmother. I don't know. But I do know that I taught my granddaughter a sovereign relationship and how to make friends and how to go all in and trust them even if they're a tiger lion. That means a lion heart parent. You don't divide, ever. And you don't become complacent, dismissive. What's that black man behind me? How creepy. This is some kind of a background in an iPhone thing. Oh, it's someone who's ready to dick fight. Yeah, the collective conscious mind. I'm sorry if I offended you, but polarized consciousness is what's happening if you go on social media. And it's miasmic. Mental illness is when we don't realize that our body is a combustion machine and that we actually, it's not a machine, but it is a field of light, and you have to actually bring it present and ground your mind into the intentional field. And you can't say that you have integrity and have a fat belly. You just can't. So look at some of my yoga poses, and that's how I'm going to duke it out with you, not with guns. Bye for now.